Roll call, please.
Director Sailors,
Present.
Director Gould, Director Wood, Director Rice, Director Costa,
Here.
Director Weber,
Here.
Director Stark,
Here.
Director Clark, Director Jones, Director Jones, I think maybe she's having technical difficulties.
Okay,
We'll try her again
Come
later.
back.
Thanks.
thank you. Pledge of Allegiance, Director Clark.
Yes, sir. Ready? Go. Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Director Clark. All right, Metro Cable announcement. This meeting of the Sacramento Metropolitan Fire District is recorded. All relevant information on the date and time of the recording is in the agenda packet. So we will move on to public opportunity to discuss matters of public interest within the district's jurisdiction, including items on or not on the agenda. Any speakers?
I have no speaker cards. Anyone online wishing to make a public comment, please use the raise your hand feature. Was there anyone else in the room wishing to make a public comment? No public comments. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Next, we'll move on to the consent items. Any questions or discussion?
No, sir.
Mr. Chair, I'd move consent.
Thank you. We have a first
Second.
and a second. Director Stark on the second.
Great.
Roll call, please.
Director Sailors,
Aye.
Director Gould,
Aye.
Director Wood.
Aye.
Director Stark.
Aye.
Director Clark. Director Rice.
Aye.
Director Weber.
Aye.
And President Costa.
Aye,
Thank you. Motion passes. Consent calendar is adopted.
thank you. We'll move on to presentation items. So we have fiscal year 24-25 annual comprehensive financial report. And we have CFO David O'Toole.
Good evening, Mr. Chair.
Evening.
Board members, Chief Wagaman, colleagues, members of the public. I'm going to provide a brief introduction for the annual comprehensive financial report presentation. With us tonight is Ahmed Badawi, President of Badawi and Associates CPA. Before the annual financial report, the annual financial report is your annual checkup on the fiscal condition of the district after the budget year has closed. It examines our financial practices and helps us forecast for revenues and expenditures for future years. The presentation that follows is an annual practice. It's an annual practice and embedded in the finance and audit policy, which directs the annual audited financial statements with the independent auditor to be reviewed in an open session of the board. Under that policy, quote, the review should include discussion of significant issues regarding accounting principles, practices, audit findings, disclosures, judgments, and any other requirements under accounting standards and rules, end quote. Badawi and Associates has issued a unmodified opinion, also known as a clean opinion with our audit on our financial statements for 24-25. I want to recognize that the ACFR is prepared by the Finance Division with support from many other district divisions and in conformance with generally accepted accounting principles for state and local governments. The entire finance team pitches in to help get this project across the finish line, and our controller, Ron Empedrad, here, leads this mammoth financial project every year. And I'm personally and daily grateful to have him on the team. And with that background and introduction, I'll turn it over to Mr. Badawi.
Welcome.
Good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Ahmed Badawi. I was the partner on the district audit this year, and I will be presenting to you the results of the 2025 audit. So I'm going to start here, and I'll let you know the agenda for today, a brief overview of our firm and the engagement team assigned to the district, what were the deliverables and the scope of our audit, audit methodology, again, brief overview. I'm not going to bother you too much with it. Areas of primary audit risk, the type of audit opinion we issued, and summary, and that's it. Actually, sometimes we summarize the numbers in the financials, but I think Ron does a much better job than me, so I am not going to dive into the numbers. I've provided some of the required communications as your independent auditor, and also a brief overview of the new accounting standards coming your way. So I'll get started by an overview of our firm. So this is our firm by the numbers. We have about 25 years of experience. We're a very specialized firm. We work only with governmental agencies. We currently have about 65 government clients, about 21 special districts. We have about 30 employees, and so far we have 0 lawsuits, litigations, or disciplinary actions against the firm. We actually just completed our own audit of our quality control systems, and we passed and got a clean opinion as well. This was the composition of our engagement team. I was the engagement partner. We always have a quality control reviewer. This person is in the background reviewing our work, making sure that we adhere to professional standards. We had 1 senior, 1 IT specialist, and 3 professional staff assigned to the audit. In terms of our deliverables, we were mainly engaged to provide an opinion on the district annual comprehensive financial report. Because the district is subject to government auditing standards, we also issue a report on our consideration of internal control over financial reporting and on compliance and other matters. We also perform a single audit report, and this is a compliance audit of the federal expenditures. We perform an agreed upon procedures on the appropriation limit, also known as the GAN limit. And then finally, communication with the governing body, which is what I'm doing today. As far as our audit methodology, so even though it's only a 5-minute presentation, but really this process go on throughout the year. It starts by early in the year with some planning, usually within our team, but also sometimes with reaching out to management, just gathering information about any major changes to either accounting system, debt issuance, sale of property, anything that we need to consider. During the summertime, we perform our interim phase of the audit. It focuses on evaluating internal controls and processes and performing risk assessment to design our audit procedures. Then we come back normally September, October, and we perform the year-end audit, which is a validation of the account balances, making sure that they are supported by audit evidence. And then finally, the reporting phase, the district draft their annual financial comprehensive report, and we provide an opinion on it. Obviously, we review it, we tie it to the numbers that we audited, and then we provide the audit opinion. Areas of primary audit risk. I always like to say that there are no risk-free audits. So any audit have some risks that are just inherent, and the risks that we identified for the district are pre-standard. They exist in most audits. The first one is the risk of management override of controls. Management is the one responsible for designing and implementing controls. They are the one who monitor them, and they can be sometimes in a position to override. So we design our audit procedures to try to minimize that risk to an acceptable level. We do that in a variety of ways, making sure we assign experienced people to the audit, that we incorporate an element of unpredictability in the audit process, that we evaluate management application of accounting principles and make sure that they're consistently applied and they're appropriate. Test journal entries prepared by management, review any estimates prepared by management, evaluate our fraud inquiries. We conduct fraud inquiries with most finance employees, with board members, with management. So we evaluate to see if there are any follow-ups needed on those inquiries. Another area is improper revenue recognition. Again, auditing standards do require us to consider this area to be a high-risk area. So we rely heavily on confirmations, actually an easy audit procedure because the biggest source of revenue is property taxes that comes from the county. We communicate directly with the county and we reconcile the amounts that they confirm to us to the accounting records. We also do testing on other revenue sources that the district have. And then finally, estimates. So estimates are just have a high degree of uncertainty or some degree of uncertainty. So that makes them a little bit higher risk. So just wanted to bring to your attention some of the estimated numbers in your financials. The useful life of your like fire engines and buildings and other assets. The pension plans have a lot of actuarial assumptions. The OPEB plans similar. And then the claims liability, workers' comp claims and general liability. In terms of our auditor's report, so normally our audit report will state the standards that we followed, and we have followed two standards, the generally accepted auditing standards, and then on top of that, the government auditing standards as well. And as Dave mentioned, we have issued an unmodified opinion, and an unmodified opinion in summary means that we believe that the financial statements are fairly stated. that all accounting policies have been consistently applied, that all estimates are reasonable, and that all disclosure are properly reflected in the financial statements. Some of the required communications as your independent auditor, our responsibilities on this slide is to provide an opinion on the financial statements, whether they're fairly stated or not. We're also responsible to evaluate internal control over financial reporting, to evaluate compliance with laws and regulations, to ensure that the financial statements are clear and transparent, and then finally to communicate with the governing body. Management have a lot of responsibilities in this process. Management has to take responsibility for the financials, so our audit does not relieve management from its responsibility. Also, our audit only provides reasonable, not absolute assurance about the completeness and accuracy of the financials. Management is responsible to establish and maintain internal control over financial reporting, make all financial records available to us, so they can't tell us, well, it's in storage, we can't really provide it to you. It's really, management has the burden of proof. Establish internal control to prevent and detect fraud, inform us of any known and suspected fraud, comply with laws and regulations, and take corrective action on any audit findings. As far as our independence, we are solely responsible for maintaining our independence. We evaluate any additional services that we offer the district, make sure that it does not impair our independence. We follow the AICPA rules and the California Board of Accountancy rules, and we have determined that we remain independent throughout the process. As far as timing of the audit, we believe that the audit was performed timely within the time frame communicated to the district. I know I didn't meet Ron's goal of issuing before Thanksgiving, but it was issued shortly thereafter on December 5th, which I think was earlier than the year before. So that was still timely audit, definitely. But maybe next year will be before Thanksgiving. As far as significant accounting policies and unusual transactions, so there were no unusual transactions, but there were some accounting standards, new ones that were implemented by the district during the current year. We encountered no difficulties during our audit. There were no proposed audit adjustments. Really, the district did a really good job of capturing transactions, doing accruals, closing the books, that we found no errors that needed correction. So that was definitely very good results. We also, as you probably anticipated, we identified no material weaknesses in internal controls. I just wanted to summarize to you also some of the new accounting standards that are coming your way. There are a couple coming next year that will impact the district, and then another one in 2027. Normally, we have in-depth discussions with management about those standards, how they're going to impact the district, and what the district need to do to get ready for them. We also host an annual seminar every year where the district is invited, and we talk also in detail about those standards. In general, this was a very good audit. Management was very prepared for us. We're very pleased with the responses and obviously the results. Normally, we can't, an audit that shows no issues is definitely good results. We can't write and say how good management is. We can only write when they're not doing what they're supposed to do. But the fact that we don't have any comments obviously reflect on how good this audit is. I want to thank you for allowing us the opportunity to provide service to the district, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
All right, any questions from the board?
Mr. Chair.
Dr. Gould?
Thank you, sir. You know, this is one of my most enjoyable evenings. I think given the current environment in our nation about fraud, to have this repeatedly show that you guys believe we're doing a reasonable job is outstanding. I don't know many people that understand an unmodified opinion. What does that really mean to the citizens of our community who just gave us, through a bond measure, a significant amount of money out of their own pockets? What does this mean to the average Joe?
So an unmodified opinion is the standard boilerplate opinion that an auditor will issue when they encounter no matters, no findings, no issues that requires modification of the audit opinion. If we were to identify material weaknesses in internal controls or material misstatements, our audit opinion will be modified to basically reflect that we do not agree with some numbers, or some numbers were not prepared in accordance with accounting standards. So a modification in the opinion normally is to discuss issues that were found.
So it really means to the community that we take seriously our obligation to control and monitor their money, not ours. And we do it through an independent analysis of someone that has no direct connection to our organization so that we can ensure that bias isn't included in that unmodified opinion. Can you just share with us what the other term you all use on that opinion? Maybe one that's easier to understand?
A clean opinion is what the district received.
A clean opinion.
Definitely. Obviously, as an auditor, I always have to qualify what I'm saying, that our audit only look at material items and only provide reasonable basis. So it's never a guarantee that nothing is happening or that there are no maybe small fraud ongoing at some level. We are never in a position to guarantee that 100%. But a reasonable assurance is a high degree of assurance. So, and that's what an audit.
And I think that's what I hope that our citizens, our constituents understand is for many years in a row, this is the standard that Metro Fire has set. And I think that needs to be out front in today's narrative as it relates to public agencies like ours. We are taking care of your money. We're doing everything we can to spend it correctly, to eliminate fraud, and all the things that I think our citizens need to hear. And this is such a great night because I think one of our biggest responsibilities is to spend the money they've trusted us with at the highest level, and we're doing it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Director. I do have a follow-up question. The last slide, you mentioned new accounting standards. Can you briefly talk about those?
The
What
new
we're
ones
seeing
that were
2026?
implemented.
Yeah.
So this year, I would say that the more significant one was how the district account for vacation and sick leave. There was a new standard that provide additional guidance on what is considered a leave and also estimate what's more likely to be paid or liquidated or used by an employee versus just taking all the hours and put them into a liability. So it's just required more estimation on management side. I would say that was the most significant one for this year.
All right. Thank you. Any other questions from the board? All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
All right. Our next presentation item, fiscal year 24-25 Community Annual Report and fiscal year 23-24 Popular Annual Financial Reporting Award.
Mr. Chair, if I can, there was like a second part of that prior presentation, but I'm going to try to roll through this all pretty quickly.
All right.
I'm pleased to share that we did receive the Government Finance Officers Association of America, their award for our act for last year for 23-24. And we received plaques for this. So Director Gould, you're asking how many years? So it's all on a plaque here. This is 10 years here that we've received it straight. And we ran out of room, so now we're on 11 years. So we received it for 11 years. You know, for those not watching on screen, I'm holding up a plaque with 11 indicators that we've received the GFOA award for excellence in financial reporting 11 years in a row. And we anticipate with the ACFR that you received tonight, we will submit that again and hopefully make it a clean dozen. So that completes that part of the report. And
Thank you and congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And then the second presentation item on the community annual report, which I'm pleased to present, the CAR, which is based on the ACFR we just heard about, only more concise. It's crafted to make the financial reports easy to understand, more comprehensible, sort of simplified language, as well as teach about the district, inform constituents about the district. In this year's CAR, we commemorated our 25 years of service with the slogan, "Built by many, serving as one." There's some interesting did you know facts about district history, as well as a description of our major operational improvements over the years. Ron Pedred also is the lead on this and compiled the report. And we did receive our seventh award on here for our CAR last year, and we anticipate submitting it for an eighth.
You're gonna need a cart to move those awards around.
My arms are
Yeah.
giving out. Yeah, that concludes my presentation on the car. Should I continue on the third piece?
Yeah, yeah. Well, really quick, any questions?
Oh, sorry.
from the board? Director Weber?
Do we get a copy of that report?
Yes, I brought some tonight.
Thank you.
I understood they.
We'll get them on
They were
break. but
distributed
Thank you.
last.
Yeah, there's just,
I'll give you some. after.
thank you.
Thank you.
Must be-
Okay.
Any other? No, okay. Please proceed.
Okay, rolling right into the next presentation. So we just heard about the annual comprehensive financial report, the ACFR and the CAR. The third GFOA award we've received pertains to our annual budget called the Distinguished Budget Presentation Award. The criteria for this award are clarity, comprehensiveness, and accuracy, and the district has now won it 3 years in a row. And we're waiting for our third button to go on this plaque here from the GFOA for our budget. But what it also signified is that what tonight we're commemorating is that when we received this first award back in 23-24, it aligned. It was the same year we also received the same award for our ACFR and our CAR, which qualifies eventually when they announce it, which was like 2 years later, for what's called the Triple Crown. And a little bit about the Triple Crown is that Metro Fire was one of 403 Triple Crown awardees from states, provinces, and local agencies and special districts across the U.S. and Canada. We're one of 47 awardees in California, and we're one of 2 fire districts across the U.S. and Canada to receive the Triple Crown. So with that, my presentation is concluded.
Oh, that's fantastic. Fantastic. Any questions? Comments?
Yeah. Exactly.
Dave, thank you for your continued leadership and patience in all of this, and congratulations on all the awards. Yeah, thank you. Now you got to carry them all back. All right. Thank you, Mr. O'Toole. All right, we'll move to reports. So President's report, a couple items for my colleagues. Met with the chief earlier in this week, and our board policies and procedures were updated last in 2016. So we're in the process of updating those. So we'll be bringing them back to the executive committee next month and then to the board. We also talked about a communications plan for the board, which will be staff is working on. They'll be bringing it to the executive committee and then to the board to make sure we're fully aware of what's going on and transparent. And then the final piece, I had a chance to meet with staff on the strategic plan. And then I meet with our consultant tomorrow, and we'll be bringing that back next month to the board. So we'll see the status of the strategic plan and the timeline to get that complete. All right. So thank you. We'll move on to Fire Chief's report. Chief
Good
Wagaman.
evening, President Costa, Board of Directors and staff. Tyler Wagaman, filling in for the fire chief tonight. First off, a really cool event that time of the year, Fill the Boot. February 4th through February 7th, Sunrise Mall. They're at Sunrise and Greenback. An absolute amazing event. Again, this dates back to its inception after the airplane crash in 1972 at Farrell's. So this is be 53 years now that this incredible organization has existed. It exists because the fire department's contribution, as well as the public's contribution to an amazing cause, and that is to help burn patients recover for their injuries. With respect to that event, let's not forget about the Chief's Challenge, which will be on Saturday, February 7th, from 9 to 10. And Chief Pratt, you're out there, you can see me on the camera. We're coming after that big award this year. We just allowed them to hold on to it for over the winter months, but we want it back. We know we earned it, and I know we have the right people and the right contributions in order to take that title back. So hope to see all of you there, and I too will be contributing along the way and shaking the boot, hopefully along your side. Chief Graff, you are here. Now I want to recognize one of our members for his years of service. Chief Graff began his fire service career with the Winters Fire Department, as well as the City of Chico Fire Department. He joined the American River Fire District as a firefighter paramedic in October of 1994. He served the district until January of 2000. Then he worked for the city of San Francisco for a few years before returning to Metro Fire. He was promoted to captain in January of 2011 and then battalion chief in January of 2019. Throughout his career, he has demonstrated dedication, professionalism, steadfast leadership, earning the respect of those he serves, those he leads, and those he works alongside. This milestone recognizes not only 25 years, but a lasting impact on his commitment to this district and the community that he serves. Chief Graff, if you could please come forward.
It's 25-year pin. How fun.
Board of Directors, Chief Wagaman, thank you for the recognition, 25 years. I'm looking forward to the next 25. So I've built a reputation the last few years of delaying retirement because I truly do love my job. I told Director Gould before the meeting started, he goes, "You like your job? I love my job." And, the people that I have the opportunity to work with. So it's been a great career. I've remained healthy. I plan to do so throughout the next several years, and we'll see what retirement looks like. I plan to be doing a fair amount of flying, and that's a great passion I have. It keeps me out of mischief, and so my wife's on board, which is the biggest part of that that mission with the flying. But I've got a bright future in that as well. But Metro Fire, American River, all the agencies I've worked for, it's been a tremendous pleasure, and thank you for the recognition.
Hold on, we've got
Chief
some
Graff,
questions.
We have an opportunity to drill you.
Are there any questions?
Is it prop, twin engine, or jet?
I'm a single engine land pilot, instrument rated, and a flight instructor
Oh,
and I'm working on my CFII rating right now. So I'll become an instrument instructor.
and you didn't answer the question. Single engine prop?
That's correct. Single engine land. Yeah, that's a prop.
How
Correct.
many people does it hold?
Well, I fly caravans, so that's a turboprop, but that's not a passenger enplanement. That's just a whole it's a cargo type aircraft. But so to answer your question, I do fly Cessna Skyhawks, and those are a 4-seater, but with my weight, a 3-person ride.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions? Right. Appreciate it. Thanks again for the time.
Thank you.
Hi.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you, Chief Graff, for your 32 plus years of fire service dedication. That concludes the fire chief's report. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. And I know it says we have no report for operations, but I do have a question. And I know we made some changes. So how's it going?
I wish I had a couple hours to talk with this microphone right now. It is going fantastic. What a privilege to work with a team of highly capable people. The 6 chief officers, assistant chief officers, the 18 battalion chiefs, absolutely phenomenal, as well as the 134 captains. We have set the stage to where we're bringing a lot of new ideas and things that we have wanted to accomplish for many years. And we're starting to put tools into the mix and allowing those things to come to life. And we're going to hear about one of those things here tonight through the EMS division. So progress and 2026 is going to be absolutely amazing.
Very
A
good.
lot of
Thank you.
progress. Yep.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Any questions for the chief? All right. Thank you, Chief. Administrative report. Chief Rika.
Good evening, President Acosta, members of the board, Chief Wagaman, guests, and colleagues. Joe Furica, Deputy Chief, Administration Branch. Tonight, Got a few updates for you from the Community Relations Division. The Members of the Year celebration is coming up. It's February 27th. We'll be honoring the 2025 Members of the Year and those receiving commendations. RSVP details will be communicated in the near future. Can't talk tonight. Fire Station Open House. Community Relations is in the process of scheduling a fire station open house at Station 50 for the upcoming spring. Further details will be provided as they are finalized. April 26th, we'll be hosting the CSFA NorCal Fire Muster. That is for the Explore Age participants from all over the state to showcase their knowledge and skills in fire musters. The event is organized by CSFA and alternates annually between Southern and Northern California. And in June, we'll be hosting fire camp. Planning is underway for that currently. And there has been an email sent to all members inviting them to sign up to be counselors for this year. Our largest youth outreach event. Eventually, I'll get this right. And then we are also in the process of assessing whether or not we have the ability to host a South area fire camp as well to better serve the community. So that's a work in progress. From human resources, firefighter paramedic recruitment is ongoing. It closes on the 29th and interviews are scheduled for the first week in February for that. Our IT comms division has received 2 medic remounts, and both of those medic remounts are completed and should be going into service soon. And we've received several of the Motorola portable radios that were approved previously by the board, and they are in the process of being programmed so they can be placed in service. And Dave didn't talk enough about himself, so I'll add to it as well. So the finance division recently assessed its progress towards their 2025 goals and recognized full achievement of 7 of the 14 goals, partial achievement of 4, and held over 3 goals for 2026. Areas of success in 2025 were updating policies, improving communication training and mechanisms, reducing items identified in the 2024 fraud risk assessment, lowering the accounts payable processing time, and resolving work tickets with the Oracle Enterprise Resource System. The division drafted goals for 2026 that included an emphasis on professional training and conferences, instituting new practices and policies, and resolving high priority work tickets affecting payroll. And one last thing I'd like to mention is starting on February 4th, will be our second Citizens Academy will be starting. And you're all welcome to participate in that process. That'll last through February and March and into April. And the last one was a great success, and we had great participation by the community on that. So look forward to seeing some of you at that event. And that's the end of my report, unless there's any questions.
All right, any questions? And we'll be getting an email on.
Yes,
Perfect.
we'll make sure that happens.
Thank you, Chief.
All right, thank you.
All right, it looks like we don't have a report for support emergency medical services. So we'll move on to firefighters local 522 report. We have Vice President Scollard. And he's bringing everybody. Yeah. Good evening.
Good evening, President Costa, fellow board members, Acting Chief Wagaman, colleagues, members of the public. Sean Scollard, Vice President, Local 522, representing Metro Fire. As you can see, a little bit of a group this evening. So as I've mentioned in the past, like we go through elections, and this is your newly elected executive body on 522, representing Metro Fire. So I would like to give them an opportunity to introduce themselves, tell you what position they have
recently been elected to. And then there's one person missing from our group this evening, but he's a familiar face who is remaining on the board, and that is Director Brett Randall. I would be remiss if I didn't mention or acknowledge all the work and dedication that Matt Cole has put in through all the positions that he's held as an elected member, from a BC rep to a director, and obviously the vice president, which you guys are most familiar with. So I acknowledge everything that he's done, and I don't think we would be where we're at today without the work and effort that he's put in. So I will, without further ado, give these gentlemen an opportunity to introduce themselves.
Thank you.
Good evening, Board and President Costa. You're all familiar with me, so I'll keep this quick. I'm still here, just going from the deputy director role to a director role. So, hi, good to see you again. I'll
Congratulations.
give these guys more
Congrats.
time to talk and introduce themselves.
Congratulations.
It's good to see everybody again, 2 weeks in a row. I'm Brendan Hogan, captain up at 41. I am a deputy director. I just got elected and sworn in yesterday. Was it yesterday? Yesterday. It has. I'll be working with HR and the MMP program. I'm hoping to build some relationships with you guys and get to know you a little bit better, and working with administration as best I can to help us move forward and progress. Any questions for me? No?
Questions?
Can you see my mustache from there? Can you guys see my mustache from there? These fluorescent
It
lights?
looks amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah. And I was gonna say, you know, last week when you were here, you weren't sure if you were coming back, and look at that. 2
Yeah.
weeks in a row.
Right.
Yeah.
Good
Congratulations.
thing. Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. Russell Gardner, elected to deputy director position. Looking forward to working with everybody in the room and everybody up there on the board. It's brand new to all this, so I haven't never been in any elected position in the union before, but got a mountain to climb and things to absorb and observe and look forward to learning a lot with everybody. So, any questions for me?
Any questions?
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
I know some of you are aware there's not a long line of individuals stepping up to take any of these positions. I take that as a compliment. It tells me that what we're doing, people are happy with. It does make it very hard to prepare for succession planning. So I really appreciate these gentlemen stepping up to the plate and willing to represent the members and this organization. You know, it's a ton of work. It's a heavy lift. As I've mentioned before, we're a very young agency, and with that comes young families, and that's a very, very hard thing to juggle, taking on these roles and juggling the responsibilities and commitments, really the things that you don't want to miss with a young family. And so for them to step up to the plate and take this on, especially some with no experience in an elected position, I think I made the analogy in negotiations yesterday that for Russ specifically is that he's drinking out of a fire hydrant right now. It's just there's so many things coming into it, and we didn't tell him everything because I didn't think that he would keep his name, you know, in the hat. And so, you know, we're hitting him with a lot of meetings this week, and you know, just continuing to stack them on. They got a taste of a little bit of what executive board is and the dynamics there. There's a lot of travel coming up this year, and some are going to make that travel and some are not. And that's really the makeup of our team, is that we want to make sure that we have representation everywhere. I just got back from, well, a couple weeks ago from San Diego, there to support our brothers and sisters with CAL FIRE 2881's convention. I know Director Rice was there. You probably wonder, like, what is 522 doing in San Diego there for, you know, CAL FIRE's convention? That sort of thing matters. Having those relationships doesn't happen overnight. It takes years to establish a relationship, and with those relationships comes trust. And when you build trust with other unions, with other brothers and sisters that can relate and are doing the same thing that we are doing, we're there to get each other's back. Whether it's legislative agenda at a state level through CPF, or whether it's at a national level, we are there to get each other's backs because we're all dealing with the same challenges, whether it be mental health, whether it be cancer. The challenges exist for all of us, and we're there to support each other. No differently than we're there to support each other through political action. And the relationship with 2881 has paid dividends.
And let it be known, Metro Fire benefits from those relationships. They benefit directly from those relationships. And I'd like to thank 2881 for their support. The $14 million that we secured for the training center, they signed a letter of support for us receiving those funds. That comes out of their bottom dollar. That's the budget that they negotiate with. But they do that, and they don't do that just because they want to. They do that because of the relationships that have been established over years, and we want to continue to have those. That's why we prioritize political action. That's why we try to be everywhere. That's why we're down at the Capitol doing our calendar drops. We're down there. We're talking about pepper reform while we're down there, and there maybe is a little quid pro quo with that. You know, hey, you guys love these calendars, right? Yeah. Okay. Well, while you're here, let us talk about pepper reform. Let me remind you of why it's so important and the effects that it has on the members joining the fire service. We have to be everywhere, and it's really hard to do that. And I can promise you it's a full-time job, probably more than a full-time job, and it wouldn't be successful without people like this stepping up to the plate. So succession plan has been one of the things that I'm trying to do. And even though I feel like I've been doing this a long time now, and I've established those relationships, it's my responsibility to make sure that those relationships stay in place, even if I'm not in this position. So making sure that these folks are going to the events, going to, even if it's not related to Metro Fire, making sure that we show our internal brothers and sisters through our amalgamated union support, going down and getting involved in the mayor race in Sacramento. You know, the electeds that have a direct impact on their working conditions, and showing them that we're there for them, because then when we need something, they're there for us. Just like the support for Measure O. Like, we're an amalgamated union, and we all have to vote on things like that. And, you know, our local invested almost $500,000 into Measure O alone, and that was directly associated to Metro Fire. Measure O didn't necessarily help any other organization. It may help with, you know, our bordering agencies, you know, making sure that we have equipment that's not going to break down and things like that on the road. That money was allocated to Metro Fire, and that comes with support of our brothers and sisters in our amalgamated union. So we need to remember that it's a full-time job, and it takes a lot of time and energy to do that. And that's not to mention all the stuff that we do internally here at Metro Fire. So I appreciate all of you. I appreciate the support. Look forward to some meetings. Please forgive me. It's been very, very, very busy. As you can imagine, I'm sure you get updates on a regular basis. We're in negotiations, and that is our number one priority, because that's what's driving the future of this organization. And we want to be mindful and make sure that we get that contract done. So look forward to scheduling meetings with you in the future. And that's all, unless you have any questions.
Thank you. Any questions? We have a comment from Director Weber.
Congratulations on your new positions, especially Russ. Hopefully he didn't tell you it's 2 meetings a month, because it's a lot of information for you, I'm sure. And I empathize with you trying to play catch up as well, but congratulations to all 3 of you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Congratulations, and thank you for all coming out tonight.
Thank you for all your hard work.
Appreciate that. Thank
Much
you very much.
appreciated.
It's said it before, it's the most rewarding thing that I've done in my career. And I know there's a lot of things that we can look back at, but representing our brothers and sisters and representing this organization is one of the proudest things that I've done, which is why I specifically wore this shirt. You know, it's because I'm proud of working for Metro Fire. As proud as I am of representing the members and being part of a local, I am proud to work for this organization.
Thank you.
We're proud of you.
Congratulations. All right. We'll move on to committee and delegate reports. So Executive Committee, our next meeting is scheduled for February 12th. The time is moved up to 4:30, so we'll be making an adjustment there. All right, Communication Center, JPA. Chief Rica.
Good evening again. Joe Furica, Deputy Chief of Administration, with your Comm Center JPA Board Report. The Comm Center JPA Board last met on January 13th. During that meeting, the board approved a radio equipment replacement purchase that is in direct support of investing in the Comm Center's long-term facility, technology, and communications needs. This purchase is to replace existing hardware that is no longer supported by the manufacturer. Through the purchase, savings were achieved by leveraging a large interagency purchasing agreement, which allowed the savings to be used to purchase additional needed radios and accessories. There was no other reportable action taken. The next meeting is scheduled for February 24th. Unless there's any questions or comments, that's the end of my report.
Thank you. Any questions? No questions.
Thank you.
Thank you. Finance and Audit Committee, Director Stark.
Yes, we met this evening, and I was lucky enough to get to chair that meeting. We received the bi-monthly fiscal report through October 31st. That was due to us, and we're going to get another one here in the next board meeting, which is our next Finance Committee meeting, which is February 26th.
Thank you. And then the Policy Committee, the next Policy Committee meeting is February 12th. All right, we'll move on to board questions and comments. Director Sailors. Thank you. Director Gould.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just again, want to shout out to anyone involved in the fiscal security of this organization. We take an oath of office, and one of the primary responsibilities, fiduciary responsibilities. And I can tell you that it saves me a lot of sleepless nights when I know that you all have set a standard that's incredibly high, and I think frankly unmatched by most independent special districts, not only in the state of California, but in the nation. So in a time where there are some pretty significant conversations about the mismanagement of government funds, I just want our citizens to know that ain't happening here. Okay? And that's huge to me. Huge to me. So congratulations. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Director. Director Wood.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'll echo what Director Gould said, and I will add, just as a follow-up on Chief Wagaman's comments, Chief's challenge, we can't wait till the 7th to get out there and stuff the boot. All of our neighboring chiefs have already planned various events throughout the community to get their boots pre-stuffed. So I would like to figure out how we can get ours going, because I want to get that trophy back as well. And not just the selfish need of having the trophy, but you can't support a better organization. So let's get some events underway and figure out how we can get some money into that boot. Thank you.
Thank you, Director. Director Clark.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to thank Chief Eureka for the opportunity to tour the comm center. It was they have a new administration building, if you will. And I want to thank Tara Poirier for her tour and also Eric Kizzy, who is a dispatcher. And I want to thank him for sharing his time with me, and going through some of the dispatches. It was very good. And thank you for that. Also want to thank the finance division, and I want to congratulate them on what a great job. And we just get awards every year after year, and it's echo what Director Gould said also. So that's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Director. Director Stark.
I'd also like to congratulate the finance folks for winning another victory for us and making us look good. Outstanding work. And I also want to thank Chief Rika and the communications folks. I also got the tour, and it was very impressive facility down there. Thank you.
Thank you. Director Rice.
Thank you, President Costa. I want to just take a moment and comment on a bulletin that came out on December 31st of 2025 and from the EMS division, and it's the 2026 EMS strategy focus, the Heart Safe Community Initiative. And number one, when I read through the initiative, I was taken aback in a very excited and positive way. I read through it and I was looking at just the different metrics and the things that the district wants to achieve and the EMS division wants to achieve, not only through a citizen response project, but really in refining our operations and our hands-on operations with the men and women that deliver EMT and paramedic service. And CARES is cardiac, using the standards set by CARES or the Cardiac Arrest Registry to enhance survival. And as I read through this, I mean, I haven't gotten excited about a lot in a long time, but this, you know, when I looked at what we're trying to do, and I talked to Chief House about this, and he said there was one person that I needed to connect with, and that was Captain Jim Ellis. And Jim, being as humble as he is, let me know that it's an entire team, but this initiative was really brought forward, I think, Jim, by you. And when I started looking at our goals, you know, a survival rate currently in 2024, we had a 6.7, national average was 10.5. Our goals for 2026 is we want to hit a 12. And for some of the tools and the things that you and your team are planning to do, that is one of the most we can do strategic plans, we can do all this other stuff. But at the end of the day, it's doing that critical job and performing to the absolute best of our training and having a citizen who was our patient return home to their family, functioning and being able to live independently again. You know, I'm going to retire from my day job in April. I'll have a little bit of free time, but I will do just about anything to help you and your team push this ball forward. And I'll kind of close with this. This is so interconnected. Jim and I spoke a week or so ago, and he talked to me about an incident that happened within his family and what kind of drove him there. And I don't want to tell that story. But tonight he said, hey, do you know the Sturgis family? And the story with that is Joe Sturgis was a drowning victim in Jenate's area at the time. Gary Vickery, who's since passed, and Bill Bottorff, engineer, who's since passed. We did CPR on that kid. He was 18 months old. It was either 39 or 40 years ago. It was either 86 or 87. And he lived a full life, is married, has a family. I was told today has a baby. But how does that story circle back? And it circles back on a night like tonight. And it really struck me, Jim, that we do all the things that we do. Set service delivery, talk about budgets. A lot of it isn't sexy and fun, but it makes our world go round. And everybody that works here, this is a kind of program why we want to make our world go round. This is why we want to have finances that are dialed in. This is why we want to have a labor contract that's affordable, sustainable, and provides a good living to the men and women that work here and invest their time here. And so with that, Jim, I would love to, maybe if it's okay, hear a few words from you about the program. I'm doing that because I know you don't want to do it. But I thank you for the vision and the drive to step forward with this. Super important.
Thank you, Director Rice. Thank you, everybody. Director Costa, Board, Chief, everybody in the audience. I'm really humbled, excited, and proud that we're moving forward with this initiative. It's really a campaign. You know, it's internal, it's external. The work that we're going to do in 2026 to improve our ability to deliver service at a ALS level, at a high performance CPR level, it's going to translate over beyond just how we treat a cardiac arrest victim. We have the opportunity to train how we look at training on EMS in general. And I think we're going to see by the end of this year a fascinating change in our culture related to EMS approach. But that's just the internal piece. The external piece is super exciting. You know, we've had some major achievements already. I talked the first time I was up here about our integration with fire dispatch and now how they're using the AED registry, Pulse Point, and they have the opportunity to tell a 911 caller that there is an AED there instead of asking, which saves a tremendous amount of time. Monday, I think we're going to be able to finally upload our mass upload of the next part of the registry, which is all the rest of the known AEDs in the county, maybe another 500. That'll put us at about 1,000 on our registry. And then it's going to be the tedious process of making sure there's no duplicates. and finding all the unknown ones and getting them on our registry. Today, I learned we have 4 additional 24-hour public access AEDs going in. They were just purchased. We have as many as 10 to 15 more that parks districts are getting ready to purchase and trying to find a way to install those. You know, we're doing our survivors banquet. The second annual one will be coming up in May, and it's expanding from 5 people last year to, and Captain America Hayden is doing a fantastic job with Gloria Gladish in the EMS division planning this. There's going to be around 30 or more survivors that we're going to invite to it. Looking for a venue that hosts maybe up to 500 people. So it's, you know, the interconnecting. We've got 2 survivor videos. We actually have our website is live. If you Google the Citizen Responders Project, you can see it, but it's not attached yet. So we're still vetting through, and hopefully this week we'll be able to publicly showcase it. And on that, one of the most exciting parts is we found a foundation out of Virginia that offers open source bilingual AED and CPR education and training that they're going to give us. We just need to get them into our community. We're going to start with Spanish speaking. Our goal is hopefully in the month of February to get into a Spanish speaking community and get a local Spanish speaking champion to help them get into the community. And they're going to give a free AED. And every other month, they're going to commit a free AED to the area until they can start developing a financial source here, and then they're going to offer even more. So we want to get that bilingual content in every language spoken, and they're going to be the ones that can provide it. And so there's a lot that's coming. So thank you for the opportunity, though. I really appreciate it.
Thanks, Jim. And I'll tell you this. The chances of a guy like me or my wife needing an engine to put the fire out in our house, probably not super likely. But the chances of us needing the assistance of paramedics and EMTs from Metro Fire for a cardiac type event are a lot higher. So Grant's looking at me going, man, he's changed his tune over 30 years. But it's a big deal. Thank you for this.
Yeah.
And thank your team.
Thank you.
Don't
Yeah.
you walk around with monitor wires?
Leads. Yeah.
You have to say it's not just the EMS division. April West in community relations and Kyle McDonald are doing a ton of work. They're just right there in every meeting and going out. So it just crosses every division. In order to find all the ADs, we're going to need to involve CRD when they're doing inspections. And so it's really a district-wide initiative. And we need to get if there's one thing that we could get some more support, you know, in the future would be just time. And we're gonna really need to take this county-wide as much as we can. This can't just be a Metro Fire thing because, you know, our residents are in Sacramento County or Sacramento City and consume this all the time, and they're over here. And working with the Sac County EMS and all these other agencies, we can really drive home Sacramento County as a heart safe. It'll be easy that way. Thank you.
Captain, on the bilingual aspect,
Yeah.
if somebody wanted to be involved in that, how would they get involved? Who would they contact?
So they can contact me. We have an email address set up now. It's citizenresponders@metrofire.ca.gov. That's just a generic one that's going to 3 of us right now. We can attach additional people to it as those come in. On the website, there is links, like if you want to get an AD, if you want to put an AD into Pulse Point yourself that you found, you can do that. Getting involved, getting hands-only CPR events. We're going to have an events page as we can partner with people to host those. We want to create a pathway, let's say minimum of 20 people we need to host an event. Register here, you can host an event. We'll get cert out there to put a hands-only CPR training on. So the bilingual part, have people start connecting with me, either at ellis.james@metrofire or the Citizen Responders email. And because we need to find community champions in every single language we can to build that trust, right? We talked a lot about trust with 522 earlier, getting the trust to get into those communities. I can't walk into a community and get that. So we need people who want to bring that in themselves.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Especially now.
Any other questions? Director Weber.
Just thinking about the upcoming Citizens Academy, maybe plug that into their programming as well. You know, it doesn't have to be a long presentation.
Yeah,
but,
there you go.
inform them as well,
Mhm.
because they're really the folks out there that are touching their neighbors.
Yes, sir. Director Over, actually, Chief Barthel asked me to do that, and he's already plugged us in. I believe the date is on the community relations date. But yeah, that was the first thing that he said too. So yeah, we'll be there.
He's a very smart man.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Director. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Director. Weber.
I just want to remind folks of a couple events. The coach is not here, but certainly fill the boot. But also the Health and Wellness Fair, I believe it's on the 11th.
It is dealing.
And I'm sure Marnie will update us on the events calendar schedule that we get. But a few of us attended that last year, and it was very informative. We saw a lot of line personnel there as well. So just keep that on your calendars and thoughts. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Director. And I'll just say again, Dave and team, congratulations, and thank you for all you do. And thank you for everyone for all your input and presentations tonight. And with that, we'll go ahead and go into closed session. Thank you. So we're coming back from closed session. And we'll turn it over to legal counsel for report out. John.
Thank you, Director. The board met in closed session under the items listed in the closed session agenda. With respect to item number 1, conference with labor negotiator for the employee organizations that are identified in the agenda. Negotiator was Deputy Chief Joe Farica. No reportable action was taken. On item number 2, anticipated litigation, this involved a claim against the district under Government Code Section 910 for property damage. The board voted 9-0 to deny that claim. The last item was conference with the legal counsel, item number 3. No reportable action was taken. Thank you.
Thank you. And with that, it brings us to the end of our meeting. Our next board meeting is February 12th at 6 p.m. Meeting adjourned.